So I think we should all, as white women, just admit we're jealous of black women's hair.
This lady asks, this black lady, are white women really that scared of black women? And I'm going to say yes. And this is my opinion as a white woman who is 53 years old and has lived in the South in Georgia in my entire life. It's not being scared, but it's a fear. And it's not a physical fear. It is the mental fear. It is what we see in you and what we see you doing and how it challenges us and the fear of that. So we see black women and we see how strong you are. We see you coming together as a community. We see you supporting each other. We see you supporting your community, supporting your families, supporting your children, going out and fighting for your rights, being authentic in your race and in your femininity. Anyway. And we're jealous. I think we're jealous because we would love to be that, I think, and we don't know how to break out of the indoctrination that we have been suppressed by our entire lives. And I'm not giving white women a pass, don't get me wrong, but I know I and most women have been told, white women have been told our entire lives, be quiet. Know your place. Be a good girl. Don't rock the boat. Don't be too much. And when you are any of those things, you are ostracized because you have rocked their boat. And that is what black women are. You rock our boat, our mental boat, because you challenge us to look at how we are deficient and not living in our truth. And it makes us uncomfortable. And people don't like to be uncomfortable. And it makes us start to question ourselves. And people don't like to question themselves. We would rather live in our little bubble of white supremacy and what we know and comfortableness. I know that's not a word. Than a lot of people would, white women would, rather than challenge themselves to grow and know more. Because it's easy. Doing the work is hard. It's really hard. I've been doing the work the past several years, and it's hard. It is hard admitting some truths about yourself and some truths about yourself as a white woman. I think that white women are scared of black women because you challenge us in that way, and a lot of us don't like it. And that's why we fear you. It's because we fear what you make us face.
Wow. Now, this was very interesting to me. I had to play this a couple times to make sure that I was hearing what I was hearing. I had to play this a couple times to make sure that this is what I was hearing. So is this woman saying the same thing that we complain about black women, the same characteristics that black women have that we complain about? Is this white woman saying that's what white women are jealous over? Don't we talk bad about the strong black woman? I was always told that the reason that black men leave black women is because white women had these certain characteristics that black men like. But this woman is saying that she actually doesn't like that dynamic. The dynamic how they would like to be is how black women behave. Now, this is very, very telling, and this is very, very interesting. So we put down what we think is not good, right? But other groups of women, we always talk about other groups, right? Okay, so let's keep talking about other groups. So the white woman is looking at the black woman saying, I like your femininity. I want to be strong like you. I want independence. I want to be able to carve out my own lane. Interesting. You know what? That's super duper funny. All this in-house fighting that we do, and other people are actually looking at the things we hate about ourselves, and they actually admire it and also want to adopt it. Meanwhile, we're talking bad about each other. It's so interesting.
He spoke a word on that one, didn't he? What more can I say?
Hey, TikTok. This is going to be my only video today, probably, because this is how much shit I have left to do today. So I'm going to be working until midnight again tonight. But anyway, I wanted to come on because yesterday evening I did a Zoom happy hour with a white lady from here, Melanie. Hey, Melanie! She had reached out to me after my video and said that she felt very much the same way, and she would love to have the opportunity to talk to me. And I said, sure. So we coordinated and we had a chatted over Zoom, and while we had a cocktail, and we talked a lot about, you know, our experiences as white women, our experiences with black women, you know, race, our communities, religion, all the things, right? And one of the things that Melanie brought up that I think is an incredibly good point that I want to bring up is the difference in the sisterhood between white women and black women. She made the comment that she has a lot of black friends, and that she had noticed when she was in the company of a lot of black women that if like another black woman entered the room, that they would acknowledge each other like, "Hey sis, I got you." Or if she was in a room where there's a lot of white people but another black person walked in, they'd be like, "Hey, I see you. I see you, girl." And that white women don't do that, and we don't. There is no sisterhood among white women as far as I'm concerned. And now before you all start fucking coming for me, all you white women, I'm just going to say, not every white woman for you, but that's been my experience. And again, maybe it's region, maybe it's, other things, but she lives in Massachusetts though, and I live in Georgia, and we have had the same experience. But white women don't do that. And I started thinking about why we don't do that, why we don't support each other and have that level of sisterhood that black women have. And honestly, I think a lot of it is that we're jealous of each other. I think that the patriarchy has, in this indoctrination that white women have undergone from white men, that we are stripped of all of our self-love and self-worth. And when you don't have any self-love and self-worth, it makes it very easy to be jealous of other people and intimidated by them, going back to my original post. And so, white women are not only intimidated and jealous of black women, but they're intimidated and jealous of other white women. And, there's just much more of this competition between white women. And that passive aggressiveness that I've talked about in other videos, and the other white lady talked about, that how passive aggressive white women are to each other in their speech. And it's true. And comment if you want to in the comments. I mean, it's a really interesting dynamic. I think there's a whole bunch more to unpack there and talk about. But it is very different. There's definitely a black sisterhood, and there's not one with white women.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Africans. Today, I'm joined by a brother here. Hello, brother.
Hello, guys, and thank you guys for your invitation. And I'm looking forward to see what will come out of this presentation. Thank you.
This is my good brother Nicodemus, and today we want to talk about Africans and why we should love ourselves and why I have my hair.
Yeah, mine here too.
Okay. Yep. So, brother Nicodemus, what do you think of Africans and their hair? Do we have beautiful hair?
I think Africans, we have beautiful hairs. One aspect that stands against all the others in the Asian continents, the Americans, is that our hair tends to be so coarse. As you can see, too black and too coarse.
Too hard.
Too hard, you say.
Not I say it is.
But it's really beautiful.
Yes.
Yep.
So, apparently, we've been told that African hair is a bad hair. And there's something which is so much interesting. You see, we've had these white people in the USA. They are coming up front and they are saying that they are jealous of African hair, particularly the African women. So white people are coming out, they are saying that they are jealous of black hair. Tell them what we perceive. How do we take Wazungu or white people here in Africa first?
For the starter, we love Wazungu. Here in Africa, we call them Wazungu. And when my first time to see a white man, I was very fascinated about his hair. Not just the color of his skin, his hair, how it was very soft and very curly. But why? Why should someone feel ashamed of his hair? Brother, I'm really looking forward to see what will come out of this presentation and of the video that we're going to watch.
So the point is, it is brainwash. We've been brainwashed for a very long time to believe that we are inferior, to believe that black color is a bad color. But do you know the original human beings were black? Yeah, I believe perhaps in some way or the other, because it is said that they were made from the soil, right?
Yeah, sure. As it says, and God made the rain to fall over the soil, and out of the mud, he made a man, a black man.
And last time I checked, we don't have white soil. We have red, brown.
Black.
Yes.
It's called even black cotton.
Black cotton. So there's a video I want us to watch. After watching this video, we shall get back and we shall discuss further about why Africans should have we should be excited that we have this hair. We should not be worried because someone somewhere is jealous of our hair, particularly our women hair. You know, it's a glory if a woman has long hair.
Yeah, sure. As it says, the glory of a woman is the
hair.
Is the hair.
Yeah.
Over her head. Yeah.
Over her head.
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's dive in. We shall get back.
I have a theory about why black women and white women are having such a hard time getting along, and it starts with a story. When I first started teaching, I was in a teacher training program with 3 other women. 2 of them were black and 1 of them was Indian, and we started teaching at the same school, the same grade, at the same time. One of these women, a black woman, completely excelled. She did so much better than I did at literally everything. Classroom management, her test scores were high. She was excellent at literally everything. And something about her excellence didn't sit right with me. I just didn't feel good about it, and I couldn't figure out why I didn't feel good about it. It was internalized racism, but I didn't know that yet. So I had to sit with this idea of her being better than me and trying to figure out why it didn't feel good and feel comfortable for me. And of course, at the time, I didn't know that I needed to do the work of anti-racism, so I didn't think it was possibly because I could have internalized racism. I had to do a lot of study and thought about myself and what could possibly be making me feel this way about this woman. And here's what I discovered. Most of the media that I had consumed up to that point in my life had white people as the central characters. And the shows and other media that I consumed that had white women at the central characters often had black women as the side characters. These black women's role in these movies was to assist the white women, support the white women, advise the white women, but never to rise above the white women. Even shows that were about black women, like The Help, had white women as the central character and the black women as supporting characters. So I internalized the idea that black women were there to support me and to advise me, but not to rise above or become better than me. And that's why when this black teacher was way better and more talented than me, I felt some kind of way about it. Now, I'd imagine lots and lots more white women have also internalized the same idea, and that's why they feel okay stealing black women's content and not giving them any credit, because the black women are just there to advise them anyway. But most black women are natural leaders. Society has forced them to become leaders. And so we need to step aside and let them lead, even if it means checking our privilege and letting them lead us.
This is not an attack on white women. This is simply in defense.
I live between 3 countries, and she's not lying, especially European women. I have friends from Europe, so I am not racist. I am just simply giving my experience. Most people globally have watched African American women and women of African descent on TV, and they think that that is how all African American women behave. So when they meet a woman who's educated, well-spoken, beautiful, well-manicured, they don't know how to handle it. They also are extremely jealous that their husbands, their fathers, their uncles, all of the men in their lives literally stare at you the entire time that you are out in a restaurant or wherever you are, market. They are highly attracted to women of African descent. White women do not know how to handle this. In America, I have experienced this in corporate America, but in Europe, you experience this in the markets. They literally act like toddlers or mean girls.
I've seen videos of people talking about, some white women actually believe that no black woman can be prettier than them. Like, they actually believe, like, no black woman can be prettier than them. The only reason why I don't believe that is because A lot of white women, not all, but a majority of white women are very envious and jealous and always in this one-sided competition with black women. They have always been like that. It's been like that since the beginning of time, y'all. Since the beginning of time. Everywhere I go, people stare at me. People call me pretty. People compliment me. But white girls, they will stare at me. They just have a nasty look on their face. They won't say nothing to me. A few of them will walk up to me and be like, you're just so pretty. You're so gorgeous. But a lot of them will look at me and just have this nasty look on their face. And I know it's jealousy. I know they're jealous. I just watched this video yesterday. It was a Black history lesson someone was talking about, and it was basically saying how black women way back when used to wear their hair in like these gorgeous big poofy hairstyles with beads and like feathers in their hair and everything like that. And white women were so jealous and so intimidated, so bothered by the hair on another person's head, they went and made a petition. This is in Louisiana. They wrote a petition to the governor, and the governor ended up banning black women from wearing their hair out in public because it was intimidating and, you know, making the white women jealous, essentially. I don't know if you guys remember, but like if you look back in the Victorian times where they used to wear those big poofy dresses and the backside of them dresses were big as hell. Excuse my language. Guess who inspired that? A black woman that was kidnapped from Africa and held in a cage as a freak show, that was forced to act like an animal and do weird stuff in a circus. Same reason why white women go and get lipo now, because they want lips like this. Lips that I was made fun of for having. Which is why this is the reason why they want to go get BBLs. Why? Because black women is a blueprint of the Coke bottle shape. One of the reasons why they get self-tanner. I thought being white as can be was a good thing. Now you want to make yourself bronze? Now you want a little melanin? It's so obvious, y'all. Like, and it's not just racism. It's jealousy. It's envy. That's another reason why these white women will go and purposefully get with these self-hating, colorist black men. I ain't never seen a white woman try to go after a Malcolm X kind of dude. Most likely because a Malcolm X kind of dude ain't gonna want to date him. I ain't never seen a white woman try to, you know, date a black dude that always talks about how he loves black women or has made statements, you know, about black women, how much he loves black women. I see these white women go out and get these whitewashed black men who do nothing but talk trash about black women and how black women this, how black women that, and this black and that black. They purposely go and get with these black men because it's a boost of their ego, because they know, okay, this black man hates himself, which means he hates his people. He doesn't like black women. He feels some type of way about them. And so by me getting with him, it's like I get a one up on the black woman. I get a one up on her. They're always in these secret competitions with black women. So you wonder why they're microaggressive to us. You wonder why they always catch these small attitudes. You wonder why they always feel some type of way and looking at you crazy, baby girl, because they're jealous. They're jealous because they know they can't compete where they don't compare. It's jealousy, and it's all a mind game. They will do anything they can to get in our heads and to mess with us and then try to go and cry and play victim. That's why I don't be phased. I'll be walking around with my head up high. I know they be staring at me. I know they be looking at me. I don't even pay them no mind. I walk right past them. Won't move out of their way or nothing. They're envious. It's been like that since the beginning.
So we have clearly watched this video. We've come to an understanding, and now it's time for all of us to share our understanding. Are you ready, brother?
Yeah, I'm ready to share.
Let's start with you.
Okay. Cut. Sorry.
Okay, brother. I understand. And I think you're a little bit excited to share your findings. I'm going to start ahead of you. So, first of all, you need to understand that humans were created from this very soil that we are stepping on. Those were the first humans. And do not be surprised if I tell you that Adam and Eve were black people. Do not be surprised if I tell you that even science has evidence that the cradle of civilization was here in Africa. And now, if you come back and look at it, here in Africa, we've had those conditions which were favoring the growth of these early man. You understand? We call them early man. So this is enough evidence and good evidence that black hair is the original hair. And of course, if I present you with a fake Samsung and I tell you this is a fake Samsung and I tell you this is an original Samsung, you are likely to choose the original Samsung, right? That is what is happening with Africans today. We have beautiful hair, and some people, the white people, are just so much, you know, they're really not accepting the fact, but deep inside they have denial. There's something called, they have a hidden admiration for our hair.
Sure.
Yes. Maybe you share with us your thoughts.
So one thing about Africans, there's this current trend that is with African, especially African ladies, where they tend to copy the Western culture. In as so much as the Western ladies have admirations of the African hair, the African women have also shown some tendency of copying.
African ladies are copying them.
Yeah, by purchasing synthetic hairs
and the weaves. But do you know we also have white women putting on wigs and weaves? Yeah, we have white women putting on wigs and weaves.
Now that brings us to an ambiguity.
Yeah, it is. It is an ambiguity in such a way that we buy their hair as wigs. We have Brazilian hair, we have Ghanaian hair. I don't know those things, I just hear of them on the internet, you know. But one thing we should acknowledge is that black hair is the best hair that is out there.
And this because for black hair, it's easy to maintain them. It's easy to design them in any design that you want them be.
Yeah, styles.
If it's dreadlocks, if it's any form of design that you want them be.
Yes,
and
yes.
I think that is what our white counterparts are admiring about African hair.
Yeah, you can shape it into any style, into any design, and also African hair does not get wet, does not shrink when on water. It's always the way it was, you know.
Also in exposure of sunlight, it brightens up even without the necessity of using the oils and to smoothen it.
Or hair products.
Hair products, yep.
Yes. You see, African hair is a very nice hair and doesn't need a lot of work, it doesn't need this and that. And let me tell you one thing. The more you are close to the original man, the more beautiful you are. You understand?
I understand.
So we have black hair being the original because it also allows air now, which is wind, to pass through and to cool it. But for the white hair, it's long, it's thick, it has some disadvantages. But one thing I'm coming to acknowledge, we can't say African hair is bad. For a very long time, we've been told that our hair is bad, but now I'm coming to discover, actually we have better hair.
Maybe that is the reason why we see Africans trying to copy or to assimilate the Western hair.
They were brainwashed.
Yeah, sure.
So the brainwashing is what may make us think that they have better hairs than ours, but no. Think of all the hairstyles. Think of the Rasta. Think of the Mohawk. Think of so many. I don't know all of them, but I believe our hair is the best.
Our hair is the best.
This is EFK Original Documentaries. My brother here, Nicodemus. You may check out his channel on YouTube.
My channel, you can find me at Nick and Diasporans. See what I get to offer you, and let's keep exploring.
Keep exploring Nick and the African Diaspora channel, and see you in the next one, guys. We really appreciate you, and remember, you have beautiful, beautiful African hair. See you in the next one.